and I've only done a couple of videos, and I just wondered today how many other home edders spend their Sunday night planning the week ahead. And we only really do a few books, like maths, English, science are in the books. The rest is these sort of quick topics, or the jar. If you saw my other video, I did a jar topic with my youngest about the dorsal light response to do with flies, and apparently some marine creatures as well. And recently I've been having sort of little inclinations of getting back to how I used to home ed and planning. And today I remembered that my boys didn't want to do climbing anymore, which frees up a Friday. And what I used to do on a Friday was plan a very, very quick topic. It would just be for the day, and it could be a field trip or it could be a creative thing. And I did say to you I would bring you all the ideas that I do here about how to keep my kids' home ed really fresh and agile, and it keeps them interested as well. And we've actually learned some amazing stuff from things like quick topics. So I thought I'd just hop on and see how many other home edders are planning their Sunday nights, and if you spend your Sunday night, or is it another night of the week that you do your planning on. So I'm just going to talk you through what I normally do, and I use a website. I probably have it saved on a tab, probably not. I'm trying my best to not cough as well. I've had this strange I don't even know what to call it. I think it might have been like upper respiratory thing, but I didn't catch it off anybody. Nobody's caught it off me. But I ended up calling in sick for work on Tuesday, and then lying on the bathroom floor for 20 minutes at 6 in the morning. And I thought, yeah, good job I called in sick. I'm no good to man nor beast today. And I totally lost my voice on Monday. It's practically whispering. Right, so I use, if I cough too much, I'm just going to come off. But I use a website called National Today, and it's great because there's so many observations and there's a day for everything. So you can do any day. Let's go to August. I used to plan like 12 weeks ahead as well, so that covered any kind of illness, or if there was a family birthday and we sort of gave ourselves the day off of home ed. I worked out that we were doing something like, the way that I worked the routine, when I mapped it against the school year, we were doing something like 2 weeks extra of learning. So I thought, well, that gives us a nice buffer amount for if we are sick, or if there's a birthday, or if you just have one of those mental health days where you think, I can't do it today. I'm determined not to cough. I'm determined. And some of our topics have been really silly, which is actually, I think, just as important. You need to be silly. I'm going to see if I can. How do I get onto my own channel on the laptop? Oh, I'm not techie. I'm like the cookie mum. Not techie at all. And my phone is all the way over there. So hello to everybody who is saying hello. I can't read you. I haven't got my glasses. You're all the way over there, and I can't seem to log on to live on my laptop. No worries. We will white knuckle through this. So I think the furthest I've travelled with the boys on my own for a Friday topic was to go and see a real life submarine. And we are coastal, so we went to Gosport, and that was a great day out. And I sometimes turn it into a home ed field trip, and some companies will give you a discount because you're a group and you're an educational group. So it's always worth calling up and asking, if I can get a group together, can you give us a discount? I've taken cough syrup and everything, nothing works. Nothing works. Literally woke up at 5:30 and I had to fix the toilet. at 5:30 in the morning. And then I thought, I feel marginally better. No, I feel marginally worse, but the shift I was doing was 4 hours. So I thought I could do it. I could tough out 4 hours. And you know when you can just feel illness washing over you? So then I called in sick and I just laid on the floor for 20 minutes. And it was one of those thoughts of, yes, I was far more productive yesterday. I'm glad I called in sick. And then my skin started to hurt. Whatever this is, I don't know what this is. Anyway, I digress. So, if anybody's interested in a topic for this Friday, if you've got your kids and you don't know what to do and you haven't planned anything, I actually think the best ones are the cooking days because it just feels really chill. National Water Balloon Day. Purple Heart Day. Oh, that's military. Maybe we could do that. American military. I don't know if the if the British do Purple Hearts. I don't think they do. I think that's just Americans. If any of you guys know, is that just Americans? Lighthouse Day. Ooh, have we got a local lighthouse? National Lighthouse Day. I might steal that one. Yep, I'm stealing it. That's the best one. Hey, Emmy dog. I also really love our little learning room because it just, I know probably with YouTubers you're probably used to like halo lights and big lights behind the scenes, but it's just nice to kind of bring it right down. My youngest is in bed, my oldest is still up. Just bring it down. It helps me, I think, because when you have like the main light on, it can be a bit much. How is everybody coping in this heat? Apparently it's not going anywhere anytime soon, so we all still have to tolerate it. I think we're actually getting used to it, you know. I still can't find my own channel. Oh, there I am. Let me see if I can. My youngest was on my laptop, so now I'm very nervous as to what he's pressed. Okay, right, I found you all. Ah, Rama Clock, hello. Okay, right, here we go. It's muted. There's no sticky buttons, which is great. No, I'm not American, I'm British. Right, so I'm going to take Lighthouse Day. I think I used to be like 12 weeks ahead because best laid plans and all that. And it just sort of, it just helps keep everything a little more interesting, because if I was to say to my two, you need to sit at a table for hours and hours and hours with bookwork, they would just really struggle with it. And I don't think this is necessarily unique to autism or ADHD. I think even like a typical person would probably think I have to get up and move around from this desk. So when topics are nice and bouncy, I think it just makes retained learning a bit easier. And my oldest, James, he stims in this room, and my fly has annoyed him so much. He definitely knows about the dorsal light response. It has annoyed him so much because he's lovely and tall. It kept on hitting him in the head. all routes to education are important. We mustn't underestimate. So I'm going to go ahead and plan the next Friday of August. I'll probably go for World Lizard Day because we have a local zoo who do a home ed rate, and their reptile house, I don't think it was open last time. I remember during COVID all the reptile houses had to close because obviously you're quite squished in together and it's humid and didn't really know what COVID was. So I hope they'll be open. I can always call ahead. And then the Friday after that, Internet Self-Care Day. What on earth? Hawaiian Shirt Day. Oh, I know what we can do for that. We can go to the shop, get just a normal white school shirt, because all the shops have all the white school shirts in. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. And then we can get some of those felt tips that you can colour in on fabric and it won't wash out, and they can do their own Hawaiian shirts. So that could be art. I'm going to sneak in an arts and crafts day and see if James still comes out in hives. He used to hate arts and crafts. And bless him, he would get some kind of arts and crafty thing for Christmas every year. And it would just go in a drawer. Ben uses it quite a lot now. August Moon Festival. Not quite the same, but I do make moon cakes sometimes, and my friend George loves them. They're a bit of a faff, but they taste like I think it's just custard, really thick custard in like a very chewy, kind of tasteless. I thought it would taste of marzipan because the same texture over here, I've only ever known it on things like kind of like the layer in between Christmas cake or Battenberg. It's really thin, kind of stretchy, chewy, but it doesn't taste of anything. And they're moon cakes, and I love making them. And whenever I make them, I message him and I say, would you like some moon cakes? He loves them. So even though August Moon Festival is the last Friday of August, I might still make some moon cakes. They're good fun as well because they're sticky. So Ben gets to play with the latex gloves because they just stick on all the gloves all the time. Power Rangers Day. Oh. Da-na-na-na-na-na. I remember when that song was on the back of that. Rainbow Bridge Remembrance Day. I can't do it. I can't do it. Do you know what? I'm going to have Power Rangers Day. How silly is that? Just when. So at the minute, Ben's doing in science, he's doing a really basic form of classification of animals. So I think in terms of putting the light with the dark, I think James doing algebra and he was doing the mitochondria. So he was doing that, and then Ben's doing fractions and decimals and how they can sort of turn into each other. So I think Power Rangers Day would round off the month nicely. So this cough. A few of my friends think it's the COVID cough, but maybe. All right. Henry Walder, thank you for joining us. First time on the channel. Charity shop challenge for your two. Appreciate finding acceptable feeling materials could make it more difficult. Yeah, for the shirt. Yeah. Yeah, but school shirts now are kind of, they're cheap enough, and they can probably even do like a polo shirt as well. And I can get some of those fabric felt tips. I think I saw some in Asda last year. So I might go for it. But we did have, there was one home ed group I was a part of, and they did a lizard thing, and they actually got either a shop or a very small zoo to come to the home ed group, and there was, I can't remember if it was an iguana, but this thing was massive. It would sort of sit on your shoulder and the tail would go right down, and they brought it in and all the kids loved it. I've also organised I think he did have reptiles, because he brought in a snake skin and some eggs where the snakes had already hatched, and there was other stuff as well. But he talked about our native snakes, because he mentioned the adder and the slow worm, not a snake, but it looks like a snake. And then there was one more, I think it was the smooth snake, which is another one of our native ones. And we're right by the New Forest, so we have adders in the New Forest. I've never seen one myself. I would love to. Hi, Susan. Thank you, Pigeon. I'm trying not to cough. It's not going very well. But I hear so many home editors, they do their planning at like 2 in the morning, because finally everyone's in bed and they can actually think straight. And I really loved, I used to plan so much home ed, and then my family had a little wobble, and only just now is my brain starting to turn back on, and there must be a word for it. And even the thought of trying to plan something would literally take energy from me. But now I feel like it's lighting up again, it's turning on, and I'm even getting the inclination to bake and cook again. So donuts popped into my head today. Donuts are incredibly easy. Maybe I'll do a video on that. And I used to be quite good at food waste and how to save food waste. I mean, having a dog helps that, right? If it's dog safe, there you go, you can have that. But yeah, so planning August, so Lighthouse Day. I'm just going to quickly Google where I would go with this. Would be geography. That's that's the topic I'd put that on. Explore a local area that has the lighthouse in. Why was the lighthouse put there? How long was it used for? Is it now just somebody's house? Because they're really quirky buildings as well. I would love to live in a lighthouse. But that's where I'd go with that one. World Lizard Day, obviously science, because you do habitat and biology and life cycle, all of that. Hawaiian Shirt Day, that's probably just art and silliness, which is great. Power Rangers, you could you could put that into pop culture, because that show was huge when I was younger, and I think it's still going on. So that would probably be pop culture. And then excuse me, can they liken it to a show today, or how have TV programs changed? Because for a kids show to go from concept to being put in front of children, it actually has to pass a whole bunch of criteria. You can't just put anything on TV in front of kids. YouTube's different. So it'd be cool to see that. So let's get Googling. I'm pretty sure we have a lighthouse near us. Where is my closest lighthouse? And I used to love these little field trips. We've done so many cool things. I think the submarine was probably the coolest one. I've never been in a submarine before, and they are you step into it and it's just heat. And the beds and the room where you can have a tea break, everything is like right there. I couldn't have a job on a submarine. I don't have claustrophobia, and I was there with the field trip with my little home ed group thinking, can we get out yet? But the kids loved it. There was an old couple that were also there for the day, and the home ed kids decided to reenact a terrible tragedy where the submarine sprung a leak. Everybody drowned. The acting was incredible. They got a standing ovation. I don't think we triggered anyone, but it was great fun. Right, maps. Well, I'm getting my water in at least. I think for the submarine as well, I put James in charge of some of the navigation of it because I don't drive yet and we had to leave really early. And I think it was like we had to be out the house at 7:30 in the morning. So that was breakfast, walking the dog, lunch boxes, bags, anything you need. And sometimes Ben needs like visual cues. And I made a lanyard. Let me just see if it's near. Here it is. I even made this massive lanyard, and it has all the times of the day. So he could ask me at any point, what are we doing next? Where are we going next? When is this done? And I'd have it right there. And I can't get my visual cue board off because it's Velcroed on and it will make an awful noise. But he's better now, but sometimes if we're having a bit of a, like I like to call it like a treacle moment, and with him, everything will just feel 10 times harder. And then it's like we have this eureka moment and we have a breakthrough, and there will be certain skills, or there will be just, he'll be able to retain things better, or a penny will drop. Oh, so 0.5 is half, like that. And we would have been struggling with that for maybe a month. And then all of a sudden, click, it goes. And I call them treacle moments because you can feel the pace of learning starting to really take energy. And that's when I think, any minute now, he's going to have the eureka moment and it'll all be fine. But he used to really focus on his timing was either it happened with the dinosaurs or it's futuristic. So this huge grey area was always really confusing. So he'd need the visual cues and then my little lanyard. But I made that myself just because I cottoned on to the whole, his day would go smoother if he had a visual thing he could see, and he could see the day tick by instead of just we'll do it later or we'll do it soon. I could then say on this number, that's when we're getting the bus. We have to get the bus on this number because then we're sleeping in a park somewhere in Gosport. So that was really cool. And I do, speaking of field trips in Gosport, I really do recommend HMS Victory because they have these really cool headset walkie-talkie things. Like I think you kind of boop them and then it talks to you. So if you're a person that doesn't like a guide talking at you and then possibly asking questions, or you want to go around by yourself, you can put these headsets on. They were really cool. Where do I live? I live in England. We tried the Now Next. Didn't go as well as hoped, but that was a few years ago. Might pick this up again now that he's a bit older and understands more. Yes, the Now Next, that worked for a little bit. And then again, the grey area of Now and Next seems to be this big or this big. He's much better now, and now he actually does the board. So I have something that's got the day on, and then it's got the season and the weather, and then we have, again, I made it myself, and oh, have I put it over there? I have all of these. It even got to a point that with his dinner, I would have to photograph what my food looks like, so then, and laminate it, and then he could turn it over when he'd eaten it. And we've gone through phases that the food couldn't touch each other. Food like lasagna, still out, he won't touch that. He's okay now with spaghetti bolognese if it's next to each other. If it's on top, he won't touch it. But he's, I made sticky shopping. I called it sticky shopping. So I took pictures from Morrison's website of their packaging on their food, printed that off, laminated it, Velcroed it, and then I'd make him a sticky shopping list so he could go around with his own shopping list. And shopping would take, the shop is literally 4 minutes away, and it would probably take an hour to do the shopping. But I factored it into the day. I had great fun. And Morrison's do this fruit initiative that if you're shopping with children, they can have a piece of fruit for free as you go around. So it worked out all right. But it's amazing what you do. It's amazing what you do just to get through. We're currently talking about volcanoes and Vesuvius, and James is doing microclimates in geography, and I think I'm going to do some more of that with them tomorrow, because James is great. And actually somebody recommended the Isle of Wight. It begins with a V and I've already forgotten it, but it has its own microclimate, so we can go on the red, is it the red funnel or the red jet or something, and spend a day, take the dog, spend the day, and go and see their own microclimate. And they have tropical plants in the Isle of Wight. And then, and we can't really go and see a volcano because the volcano we've got is Ben Nevis, which is literally the other end of the country. So we can't go and see that one. But Ben's also struggling to understand tectonic plates and how it's always moving. And it's how do I get a really lovely mind there? That's some of what I love. How do I get him there? I do love it. I've never had to be so resourceful. Feeling you on the food separation, my eldest wouldn't touch anything that resembled a sauce or roux until she went to uni and had to fend for herself. Yeah. Does it ever like burn you up a little bit when they're like, oh yeah, I eat lasagna now? Or is it fine, you're eating, I don't care, fine. Right, after August, it's not on my whiteboard yet, hold on. September, do you remember? There was a phase that if I said to James, do you remember? He'd go, the 21st night of September. Oh, laugh a minute, him. It is catchy though, I'll give that to him. How many Fridays are in September? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay. I was in work yesterday and my assistant manager was like, oh, you called in sick on Tuesday. So I told her about it and she was like, yeah, well done you. And I said to her, I think there comes a point that when you lie on your own bathroom floor for 20 minutes contemplating how ill do I actually feel, it was a good choice that you called in sick. And it's so bad. Like our sick culture is so bad. If you're lucky enough to be salaried, then it's probably not so bad. But if you're not pay as you earn, if you only get paid for going in, it's so bad. How many of us have gone into work when we really should have stayed home? And now I can afford, as in like I have the time, I'm time rich to be sick. So when I went into work on Saturday, I sounded like this, but not contagious. I have no idea where I picked it up from. I had a softball match on last Sunday. Nobody was ill. I don't know where I've picked this up from. It is crazy. The boys haven't got it. No one else has got it. Just me. I guess I'm special. My son used to love eating pasta in sauce, had one horrible sickness spell and never touched pasta ever again. Oh, that's so hard when they find a food. Every single time, but I never tell her. You're better than me. I think I'd be like, do you know the years I tried to get you to eat this? But okay, let's do September and then I'll go back to my lighthouse. Do you remember? Oh, how is everybody enjoying the summer holidays? They've only really just started. But how are you all coping? We don't do summer holidays. We go straight through to the end of November and then we have December off. Do, 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 do. I work from home, 1 sick day since March 2020, and that's because I had to go to the hospital. No rum, you must take, so I had a meeting at work, and my boss said to me, she gave everyone, because I was new there, I used to work there like 8 years ago and I'm back there now, but she gave everybody a bollocking pretty much, because she said you must take your days off, especially when you work in an industry that provides service to other people. So I'm a qualified carer, I work in a care home at the minute, but I'm a cleaner. But she said you have to take your time off, and we do 6 weeks on and then 1 week off, and the 1 week off is I guess it's like a half term, but it gives the boys a chance to just walk away from this room. They don't need to learn anything, they can just zen out if they need to. But it's also for me, because although I really enjoy home ed, you need time off from your dream job, otherwise it will slowly become your nightmare job. So no rum, you need to be better at taking time off. Take the time off. Solid choice, taking a month off for festivities. How do your two cope with change in routine? They're okay. We have we have a 6-week whiteboard on our kitchen wall. So if it's on the board, it's okay because they can see it slowly coming in. They're much better now. It wasn't the case a few years ago. But again, I think it's when you spot that you need to manage the kids more. It's difficult, isn't it? When you have people that need managing, which sounds really, it sounds like they're a handful and they're not, but I don't have another word. But when you have people that need managing or they need sort of directing a lot of the time, I think you just catch these problems earlier and earlier and earlier. So you just get really good at spotting a symptom of, oh, that could potentially be a problem, we'll need to prep for that, or, and then later on down the line, then it feels seamless. But is it? Or are you just very well rehearsed in how to manage them? But they cope pretty well. We've got a 6-week whiteboard on the wall, plus we have our visual cues and our lanyard, and we do all the things. And I even made a 6-week rolling menu so that I don't have to think about food all the time. I can just go, I'm going to choose day 4 on this week, and then I'm going to go to Morrison's, get our shopping, come back, and then it's done. I know what snack is, I know what dinner is, I know what the breakfast is. I don't have to think, because even though I don't mind the shop, it does just start to drill at you, and it starts to burn you out and sort of deplete you. And it's all these little things that if you were to sit there and write down all the things that take brain power from you that you could do things for, like a 6-week calendar or a menu, or making a lanyard so that when you get asked, when is this happening, you can point to the number. Oh, it saved my sanity. My daughter, it's hard right now. My daughter is being a right 5-year-old, and my son, 6-year-old, is bouncing off the walls due to the lack of continuity he had from school. Yes, yeah, you kind of do just get thrown into the deep water with summer holidays. Do you guys do any kind of routine, or do you just sort of white knuckle your way through it as well? Daughter knows her brother doesn't talk, so she's constantly trying to get him blamed for everything. Oh, that's terrible. I shouldn't laugh. Shouldn't laugh. That's terrible. James has never liked summer holidays. All that time, he just gets really bored. I think I did as well as a kid. I was outside all the time, just oh, hot cross bun day. So I'm not talking about Britain. It's not hot cross bun day in September for us, but I will steal that one because that is straight away, that's science because of the yeast being a microorganism. And it will help go on our walls as well. So I have 6 windows in here and they all have something on, which again just keeps it nice and fresh. They can choose a window if they want, or they're really getting into the jar at the minute. Which was probably my only stroke of genius to do with Home Ed, was the jar. National Cheeseburger Day. Oh, they'll do that one. They'll make cheeseburgers. We'll do the buns because we would have done yeast the week before. National Cheeseburger Day. Oh, I wonder if I could introduce them. Does anyone else remember Hamburglar from McDonald's? And there was like a whole cast. I don't remember anyone else apart from Hamburglar. 25th. Ba 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 ba. Oh, is that when I made moon cakes? Mid-Autumn Moon Festival. There's a yes, yes. Oh, George will be so happy. Mid-Autumn Festival. Mooncakes are really, really easy. They look like an absolute faff, but they're so easy. And I make really small ones just with custard in. I'm going to call it custard because that's food. That one's food. Because that's what it is. And the same as if you ever make chocolate twists and it asks for creme patisserie, it's custard. I know there's chefs that I know and they're probably screaming at me, it's custard. No real routines in this house at the moment as his understanding isn't there. More of a case of trying to encourage different activities and see if he takes to it, yeah. Hamburglar Grimace. Was Grimace the one that had the eye, like, or have I completely imagined him? Grimace was some sort of purple jelly tot looking thing. No, I don't remember that one at all. Hello, great white shark. There was a whole gang. Was there a bird? Was there a bird in the Ronald McDonald gang, or have I now properly made that up. I think there was a bird. Right, back to lighthouses. I've done September. September's looking very foodie, which is great because because September will probably still be a bit too hot, and as I don't drive at the minute, I'm learning to drive. So anyone who knows me, I'll let you all know when I'm on the road so you can stay off the road. Haha. But the buses don't really have aircon, and it's a literal tin sweatbox. So so I have to say, sorry, we're not going anywhere today. It's not way too hot. I should probably take a thermometer on there, really, just to see for myself how hot it is. Okay, my nearest lighthouse is there is one in Isle of Wight again. So do we do the lighthouse and the microclimate together? Is that too much? Because does anyone know where this microclimate thing is in Isle of Wight? Oh, that's not really a lighthouse, guys. Oh, hold on, where's that one? Okay, that could work. Needles Lighthouse. Maybe we do an overnight on the Isle of Wight. That could be so cool. I don't think I've ever been, you know. Right, so because that's really short notice and they probably won't cope with that, we could probably plan that in for maybe our last, not that one. So that one is our week off, so cross that one out. That one's not happening. I might swap Power Rangers Day. Power Rangers Day. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. Who here remembers that song? Da-na-na-na-na-na. Yes, don't forget, September 19th is National Talk Like a Pirate Day. Yes, it is. And I drew the comparison that, isn't it funny how people from like Cornwall sound like pirates? I think Cornwall has very rich pirate history. I don't know that's true. It might not. I don't know it's true. Although James was really interested in Blackbeard for a while. And he found loads of cool facts out about Blackbeard, how he used to what was it? He didn't set, or did he set his beard on fire? But he put gunpowder in his beard and he used to set it on fire or something to be intimidating. Something like that. Which naturally led to us watching the kids' film Pirates and Scientists or something, and it's got Hugh Grant that voices the main pirate and they find a dodo. It's a really good little film. It's a proper little family, like Sunday afternoon film. Isn't that in the zoo near the centre? I don't know, I've never been. It begins with a V though. My friend was telling me about it because I was talking about, oh, he's doing really well on microclimates. And they said, have you been to this place? It's in the Isle of Wight. So now that means then we can do the lighthouse, because that's the one we're going to go and see as a historical building, and then the microclimate place, which means we would need to plan the ferry, which Ben loves a ferry, and we'd have to go. So this is the prep that has to go into it, is the ferry, the Google Maps, pictures of where we're going to go. If we need to get on a train, James is still a little bit nervous of trains because of something that happened years ago. And then fill out my lanyard for Ben, possibly the board. He might want to go back to the board because I haven't done Fridays in so long because they used to go climbing. So now we're back to field trips and quick topics. I might need the board again, which is fine. That's what it's all there for. Oh, Ventnor, that might be it. We are hoping to go to the Isle of Wight over the next 2 weeks, make a full day of it and go to Black Gang. What's Black Gang? There was a Home Ed holiday in the Isle of Wight that we couldn't go to because we had other plans. Ventnor, okay, brilliant. Right, I'm going to write that down. Ventnor. Thanks, gang. Microclimates. Anybody happen to stumble across a volcano down on the south coast? That would round me off nicely. Microclimate. Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much, you lot. Oh, I used to do this at like 6 in the morning because I've always been up early. But I'd come down at like 6 in the morning. I'd do a bit of admin, do a bit of home ed planning. Loved it. And one thing that I really enjoyed as well was coming down here, and I'd do like 5 or 6 things that would sort of kickstart the household for the day, and then I'd take teas and coffees back upstairs. And I haven't done that in months, and I'm starting, like, my brain's starting to light up to do that as well. So I'm hopeful that I'm kind of coming back to myself a little bit, because by Jove, it has been a year. Ventnor. I didn't know it was a zoo. Oh, what about the lizard day then? Does Ventnor have a reptile house? Ventnor. Why is it called Ventnor? Wow, hidden gem on the Isle of Wight, set in a unique microclimate that's around 5 degrees warmer than the rest of the UK. Oh wow, that's going to be a bit humid as well. I shan't bother straightening my hair. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, right, back to the maps. Where is Ventnor? Ventnor. Oh, it's on the other side. Okay, so the lighthouse that I would like them to see is entirely on the other side. Okay. No worries. Okay. It's fine. We'll just, we'll just Walk the coast. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a field trip because this looks really cool. I think I could get a hat trick here. If it is a zoo, or if there is a zoo nearby. Oh, there's a donkey sanctuary. Yeah, I think I'm going to turn it into a field trip, and I'll see if I can call Ventnor and see if they'll do an educational group. It's always worth calling. If you can get a group together, you get, most of the time you get discount in places anyway because it's a group, but it's always worth calling. And a lot of the time they have resources as well. They'll give you links to their own websites where you can print off resources for your own kids. I have these clear, I don't have any to show you, these clear like plastic wallets, but they're really thick and durable, and they turn into like dry wipe as well. And I've taken so many resources in those with me, and they have a little hole in, so you can clip them onto like a, is it called a carabiner, and take them around with you. And then obviously just have an endless amount of snacks coming out your bag. It's brilliant. Okay, so to do, I'm going to go off in a minute because I've got work in the morning. I've got a 5:30 alarm. To do is Ventnor, lighthouse, and then reptiles as well. And if I can just stumble across a Power Ranger while I'm there, I think I'd be the best mum in the world. Reptile house. And I will see if I can do a Home Ed field trip. Great. Well, thanks for planning with me, gang. You've made it much less boring. Oh, Black Gang is an old style theme park. How old? Like 1920s or? To the maps. We're going to the maps because it's right here. It's not far from the Botanic Gardens. It would be an early start as well. I want to see the photos. Oh, it's all piratey. Oh, dinosaurs. Okay. That reminds me of the roundhouses at Stonehenge. Okay, it doesn't look, it looks kind of like, it looks cool. Okay, that looks cool. We might have to go back. Right, gang, it's been lovely. I will probably be on again same time next Sunday doing more planning, and I will let you know how I got on with my Home Ed field trip. Thank you so much for tuning in. My phone keeps saying low battery. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know how you get on with the summer holidays, and if you manage to venture out and it all goes really well, I will possibly put on Instagram the clear folders I've got. They're around here somewhere. They are honestly great, and they've got a little pen holder on, a little clip on, so you can clip it onto parts of your bag. I have walked around with so many resources in these. They're brilliant, and they turn into dry wipe as well, which is always helpful. My lanyard, where is it here? I made that myself out of laminated sheets, and I think that's the back of a cereal box. just to give it some structure, because I needed it right now and nowhere had it, and then I just used stickers, so I can't really recommend anywhere to get one from those. But thank you so much for hanging out. If you're planning something, maybe it's not home ed, maybe it's summer holiday stuff, or if you've got some work to do for your job, and Sunday night when all the kids are in bed and you've done all the family bits, you've done the roast dinner, the dishwasher's on, the dog's sleeping, and this is your time to do admin, definitely come and hang out, because I'll be here same time next week.